And then Olsen hits one, and you're thinking, oh, my God, there it goes. And it's foul. And you're like, oh, they're starting to hit him. They're starting to catch up to him. And, that one fateful pitch, and then Olsen just drills it to center field. And, Seth Lugo hasn't been great either. And I know that lineup was not indicative of who the Mets potentially are. But, this game today, with Bassett on the mound this afternoon, they have to win it. They have to win it.
A must-win Wednesday, as we would say.
I would say yes.
Yeah, because you'd be down, or be up, rather, a half game with the Braves heading into that series with the Nationals. The Mets have the Cubs. Losing 2 out of 3 would not feel good. Yeah, I mean, but the confidence that I have, with no McNeil and no Starling Marte in this lineup is like zero. And Max Scherzer was spectacular, and you got a big home run from
Peterson
Luis
was
Guillorme.
Spectacular.
Yeah, I know, but he was very, very good last night. But he did give up a big home run, and the offense just can't do anything. I mean, you just when you talk about, was it 2 hits from 5 to 9 last night is what you had from. I mean, and overall you just had 5 hits in the entire game.
Pete Alonso didn't have a great game either, but no. I would just also say that. It's they're going to get reinforcements. It's not.
Are they, and when?
Well, they will. But I'm just saying that even with Marte and McNeil out of the lineup, that's just not the Mets team. That's a bunch of backups, man.
Yep.
And we knew that going in to this series, that this was not going to be a full complement of the teams. McNeil's on paternity leave. You got a groin issue with Starling Marte. And those 2 guys are big parts of the team. I don't care what anybody says. Both
one of them's an all-star.
Both offensively and defensively.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Marte's had an all-star first half. Jeff McNeil is back to being the hit maker that he was when we first saw him. And it's a huge deal. Now, James McCann doesn't really matter, who the catcher is at this point, offensively at least. And it seems like all the pitchers, it doesn't really matter who they're pitching to either. It seems like they have figured that out after Bassett, struggled after McCann was hurt. But he seems to have at least righted the ship a little bit. But yeah, it's just frustrating. I mean, not being able to break through, having opportunities but not being able to break through is just really frustrating, especially when that this lead continues to dwindle. Now, if you go in to Atlanta, decimated, and then you end up winning today and take it 2 out of 3, then everything is spectacular. It's great. That's all you could ask for. That's all you could realistically ask for.
That's why today's a must-win Wednesday.
Must-win Wednesday afternoon game.
You know that.
Lock it in. Yeah, and you got to be focused and ready and get this thing done.
Bassett needs to have, they're going against Charlie Morton. That guy's a pain in the ass. But,
he is.
I would just say that Bassett needs to go toe-to-toe with Charlie Morton. That's exactly what has to happen today. If they run that same lineup out there again, I would say that the Mets are going to be in trouble today. But we'll see. I mean, it is baseball, Susan, as they always say.
Right.
And speaking of baseball, Susan, turn the Yankees off. 3-0, 8th inning, no worries.
Against the Reds.
Right, exactly. And, Reds have a decent young team, but they've had just an awful year. And to lose that game last night, that's a blip. That doesn't happen. That hasn't happened. And, Holmes was all over the place. Watched the final inning, the replays this morning.
Yeah.
He was all over the place.
I mean, rare for him. He gets a pass with how spectacular he's been. I don't know what was going on. He had issues with grip, issues with location. He just wasn't himself. So, and that this is going to happen to everybody. You just hope that it isn't something that changes the course of his spectacular season. And it won't. So, I mean, this is just... this is not like, blowing the 3-0 lead to the Red Sox. This is not losing the 2001 World Series. This is not panic time for the New York Yankees. Even though that game sucked last night for the team and their fans, you just, as they say, you flush it. You flush
and again,
that
Aaron
one.
Judge doesn't play.
Yeah, right. Which is, with the maintenance calf, whatever they've got going on with him. So
I think this is the first time it may be the first time the Yankees have lost 3 in a row all season. No, they did it earlier.
Yeah, wasn't that long ago that they did it? Right?
They
it was May.
They did it with the White Sox and the Orioles back in May. Yes.
How about the Orioles are 500? That's nuts to me. That team has been so bad for so long, and that team I think is like 44 and 44 or something.
Yeah,
or whatever they are. Yeah, I mean, it's that division, everybody is either 500 or above. Yeah, here you go, 44 and 44. 17 and a half games out.
That's actually crazy, and it's the fact that they got back to 500 is amazing. It really is.
I mean, after all these years of being terrible now, I mean, they could fall off the face of the earth, but I mean, it's got to be at least exciting. I hope they're getting some people in that building and changing that thing around, but it's the best division in baseball right there, the AL East.
Yeah, how about Garrett Cole last night? 11 strikeouts,
yeah, he was
7
great.
innings.
He was great.
And you lose the game.
Yeah, he's got to be pissed off.
That's amazing.
But how pissed off can you be at Clay Holmes? If you're a Yankee fan, if you're Garrett Cole, if you're anybody, it just, what the hell? I mean, it's okay. It really is. They've been spectacular. They're just, they're cruising along. It's a little bit of a bump in the road, but they're going to be totally fine.
I interviewed Joey Votto yesterday.
Oh, did you?
I have to tell you, this guy's one of the more interesting guys in all of baseball.
This is for game time.
Yeah. And, he was talking about Garrett Cole and facing him and how things have changed over the course of his career. He's been in the league for 16 years. He's 38 years old. And I asked him, I said, do you expect to get traded? And he kind of deflected that. He goes, I know I didn't really answer the question. He goes, I'm just trying to go out there and figure out how to get after Garrett Cole. Mm-hmm. That's my sole focus right now. And I was trying to think whether or not he would be traded. He's got one more year left on his contract, and then he has a buyout team option in 2 years. And he fully expects to be playing by the time he's 40.
Okay.
I don't know if he will be. Then I asked him something that nobody had asked him yet. I said, in 2024, they're going to have the robo-umps. And
is that confirmed?
Yeah, I think it is confirmed.
Really?
Yeah, and at least that's what Rob Manfred's pointing to.
No, that's what he would like to see.
And listening to Joey Votto discuss the nuances of hitting, because he's a big Ted Williams fan. Had a poster of Ted Williams. He's from Toronto, by the way.
Oh, really?
Speaks multiple languages. And he actually had a bet with Aroldis Chapman when Aroldis Chapman was on the Reds that he could speak better Spanish than Aroldis could English.
Okay.
This is the kind of thing that this guy does. He gets involved in all these little
seems like an interesting dude, this Joey Votto.
Very deep thinking guy, yes. And we were talking about, we watch it. We all see the batters, little square on the on the screen and everything
Strike
else.
zone box, yep.
My thought is who are you going to yell at? When you strike out, there's nobody.
Yeah, nobody.
But I guess you have to adjust the box. And how is the pitcher going to know if the box is adjusted? And I would think that it would be an advantage for the hitter to know that they're not going to get these calls that come out outside the box.
I mean, that's not even a question. Of course it's going to be an advantage for them.
There's a lot more questions that I have that need answering when it comes to the box.
So you're not in on the box now?
I'm not ready. I don't know whether or not to be in the box, especially after talking to Joey Votto. I also talked to Brandon Nimmo yesterday about it.
Oh, did you?
And Jake Cronenworth, who is the second baseman for the Padres.
Look at
All-Star.
this.
So I was asking them all about the box. And they all had different takes on the box.
What did Brandon Nimmo have to say about the box?
First of all, Brandon Nimmo's the happiest guy in the world.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That guy, he's from Cheyenne, Wyoming.
Mm-hmm. Which is the capital of Wyoming, by the way.
Yes, they don't, in one of 4 states that don't have high school baseball.
Wow.
He had to play American Legion ball.
This is fun facts with
It is fun facts, right?
Wow, man.
So in order to be able to hit in Wyoming in the wintertime, his dad built him a barn. So he could hit in the barn. I mean, if that doesn't say the natural to anybody, I don't know what does.
Yeah, look at he made it all the way to the major leagues.
He did. It's
absolutely amazing.
You know what was amazing? Joey Votto's first hit came against the Mets, and he also I want to say he had a double in his first game and knocked in a winning run or something against the Mets. You know what it was? The beginning of September in 2007. Do you remember what happened at the beginning of September in 2007?
You guys started here at WFAN.
And what happened to the Mets in September of 2007?
They blew a huge lead.
I think
7 games, 7-game lead in 17 games.
Right, and my belief is it all started with Joey Votto.
Wow.
Back when he first started.
Wow, how about that? Did you know that Joey Votto was married to Kennedy descendant? Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, just a lie.
There's a fun fact for you.
No, I just made that up.
Oh, you didn't know that?
Completely made that up.
Fact.
Yeah, wasn't.
Why would you make that up?
I don't know, because
I thought I was giving you interesting fun facts.
Yeah, you're just spewing a lot of facts that I just figured I'd just throw one out there.
But now you're just making fun of me.
Just a little bit, yeah, just a little bit.
I thought the discussion about the box was was very insightful for all three of the baseball players that I interviewed yesterday.
Yeah, no, I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah,
what's it going to be like 5:30 a.m. on CBS right before NFL Sunday or something like that?
Locally here, yes.
Okay.
Nationally though, it gets a little bit better airtime on Sundays, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. What do you think about the talk about R.J. Barrett being the centerpiece of the Donovan Mitchell deal? I think they should be able to get him without trading R.J. Barrett.
That's what I hope. That's what you want. You want
4 first-round picks you can give him. You can give him Obi Toppin.
Quickly.
You can give him quickly. You can give him Grimes.
I mean, you might have to give him Toppin just simply because if you're keeping Julius Randle.
Yeah, because you can't shed him. It's impossible. I mean, and I know your offense feels like it's going to be stuck in the mud if he's still here, but I mean, I would love to see that combination 1, 2, 3, Brunson, Mitchell, RJ. If you can get that done, then we're going into this next season legitimately excited that the Knicks can compete and get back to the postseason.
It sounds like Danny Ainge is going to want R.J. Barrett.
Yeah, I know. That's what it feels like. That's what it sounds like. But
in order to get something, you got to give something. And the question that I would have for you is RJ going to be an 8 to 10 year All-Star?
See, it's really hard to evaluate him right now because he either is going to continue to ascend like he has, or we have seen what RJ Barrett is going to be, which is a very good player. I'm more leaning towards the fact that he's going to ascend, but if he ascends, does he ascend to Donovan Mitchell good? Who's a 25-year-old guy who has been the leader of his team and gotten his team to the playoffs and all of those things? I don't know. I mean, if you're asking me who the better player is, the better player is Donovan Mitchell, but I mean, R.J. Barrett could be Kawhi Leonard in 6 years. So it's a tough one. That's why I don't want to get rid of him. Now, I know that you get these trade deadline calls in all sports where guys will call the show and let's get this guy for a bag of balls, and you're saying there's no way it's going to happen.
You got to be realistic.
But it's not realistic to me, and this is why we need Donovan Mitchell to go full psycho and get himself out of there. And he's not the type of guy that would do that.
Yeah, but it sounds like
he's got to go full James Harden.
Yeah, but
he has to put on a fat suit.
Yeah, but
not show up, go clubbing, strip clubs, everything. He's got to do all of that. You know, he put on a fat suit to get out of Houston.
He's not doing that.
He put on a legit fat suit.
But I think if you're Danny Ainge and you're moving Rudy Gobert and you really have nothing of significance in terms of those. Like, you don't have any significant players coming back, I don't think, in the eyes of Utah Jazz fans. And if you are Donovan Mitchell, aren't you upset about the way things have gone down? And I think that he is. His representatives have at least let that be known to the folks in Utah. But again, I go back just to the point where he doesn't have to go full psycho. I think that they are listening, that people do want him. And if Danny Ainge is the guy that I think he is, would try to make that kid happy, and making that kid happy would be sending him to the Knicks. Yeah,
absolutely, and he seems like he loves it here. That you don't always get that, especially with the NBA player over the last number of years. Has not been willing to come to New York. That star has not been willing to become a Knick, and Donovan Mitchell seems to be that guy, and we've been waiting for that. So that's why it's really enticing to give them whatever they want to get him. But I really don't want to give up R.J. Barrett if I don't have to. But if they ended up making the trade and R.J. Barrett was in it, I'd still be really, really excited for Donovan Mitchell being on the Knicks. It'd be disappointing that R.J. wasn't here, but I would still be more excited than disappointed. I mean, I just don't – I don't know if the Jazz look at – because they already got 4 first-round picks from – when they traded Gobert from the Timberwolves. They could get another 4 first-round picks from the Knicks.
You never have enough.
I mean, that's 8 first-round picks. I mean, when you're rebuilding, it doesn't get any better than that. Do they need R.J. Barrett too?
That's right. So whoever they get back, you would think, I don't know, he wants to have a competitive team, I'm sure, and I'd have to look at their roster and everything else. But again, we've watched R.J. since he got here, and he's gotten better every single year. And he's gotten tougher, he's gotten bigger, he's gotten stronger. He's like you're a quintessential first-round draft pick that you have now developed into a budding star. Not a superstar, but a budding star.
No doubt.
And I hate getting rid of those guys because they're our guys.
They're our guys, I know. But Donovan Mitchell wants to be one of our guys. And no NBA star has wanted that in forever.
Well, Jalen Brunson, right?
Yeah, but is he really
is he a star now or no?
Not quite. A very, very good player.
$25 million a year says you're a star.
Yeah, I know.
Doesn't it?
Well, they want him to be a star.
$50 million.
Yeah, but he's not quite NBA star, you know? He's there. He's a very good player, and they hope he continues to progress, but Donovan Mitchell's the star. He's the guy. This is the guy you've been waiting for, who wants to come here.
Yes.
So I would think that Leon Rose and everybody else that's involved in that front office is going to be very reluctant to trade R.J. Barrett, and that's probably what's going to hold up this deal.
You think that front office is actually doing something right now?
According to reports,
well, we got Hartenstein and we got Brunson.
Yeah, according to reports, they're getting a package together. They're aggressive. If you were willing to believe that. If you're willing to believe that Leon Rose, who's we've seen sleeping on the job, and Worldwide West and Scott Perry and everybody else is in on this, I would. If you're not paying attention to what's going on in Utah, if you're the Knicks, you should just leave.
Come on, they have to be. They're all between the agents and everybody else. Everybody's tied in together. You know that.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, look at what happened to Jalen Brunson.
Yeah,
I mean, the whole thing was everybody knew what was happening.
Yeah, he was a Knick like halfway through last year.
Exactly.
Yeah, like the All-Star break, he was on the Knicks.
Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the red bell so you're notified when we have new content.